Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to Inside Eastern Athletics. Jack Petrucci joined alongside Brian Doschler, former Director of Sports Broadcasting here and now Production Assistant at ESPN. Brian, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on this brand new show.
I know. You're on the first one. Feels special, right?
It does.
So next segment, we're going to talk about two coaches that over the summer did go separate ways from Eastern. Head coach Matt LeBranch took the athletic director job at Western New England, and Brian Tilley, the former men's lacrosse coach, leaving for personal reasons. And Brian, you've had experience with both coaches, your time here. Mm-hmm. What can you tell me about both your experience with them personally and what they did for the program here at Eastern Connecticut?
Both coaches, they're all about winning. They definitely, both coaches, they got to the conference tournament every year. They got to pretty much the conference title game every year. Baseball was able to win it twice in 2014, 2016. So really both those guys, they allowed us to do a lot of interviews. I'm speaking from a sports perspective, a lot of interviews and stuff like that. So that's always nice. We're able to go to practices and shoot whenever we wanted to. So in that sense, very laid back in that way. And it was a pleasure working with both of them.
So now, with the fill-ins that they got here, we got Brian Ham, Terryville, Connecticut native, and former Amherst College men's baseball coach, and then Mark Graham taking the place here of men's lacrosse, who was the former coach at Vassar College in Poughkeepsie, New York. Now, Brian, looking at what both coaches have coming back and kind of what they've done before this, who's the better fit for the program?
I think it's Brian Ham for baseball. I think he's again, both programs, they do have a tradition of winning. But this team, the baseball, I just feel like they're more experienced. Like they made deeper playoff runs, more tournament runs. Jordan Muchin, obviously the ace of the staff. They just have guys that have been there. And lacrosse, it's a different setup with the Little East Conference tournament because you only have to win 1 or 2 games and you're in the NCAA tournament. Baseball, it's double elimination. So baseball has been in the losers bracket and they've come into the championship round. So in that way, I think you can't really, with playoff experience, you can't really teach that, and I think more kids there have that.
Absolutely. I'm going to say Graham for this reason. At Vassar College, and first of all, I'm not taking away anything from Brian Ham. He coming in, great baseball resume, both playing. He was a player at Middlebury College and then SCAC, and then the coach at Amherst, and has played here. I think it was an annual game that they always play with the Amherst baseball team. But if you look at Mark Graham, he came to a Vassar College team that in the Liberty League that never had even a 500 season, ever, in their program's history. In 2016, he coached them to their first 500 season, went 8-8. Then the next year in 2017, their first winning season ever at 11-5. And if you look at the teams the Liberty League has, I'm just going to go rankings off of last year. Number 1, RIT. Number 11, St. Lawrence College. Number 19, Ithaca College. Number 20, RPI. And not to mention, last year they played Wesleyan in a non-conference matchup, who actually won the whole thing. And if we're looking at here, if he turned around a program that never had a winning season, what's he going to do for Eastern Connecticut that's already established themselves as a dominating force in the LEC?
Yeah, and with Ham, I believe he has some good resources here in Eastern. The thing that I took out of one of the things with the Ham hire was a prestigious job at Amherst, obviously, and that Eastern, for Eastern standards, they've been kind of struggling. They've been kind of middle of the pack. They've been around a lot of fourth place finishes. They played well in the postseason. They've been in the championship rounds there, but really like 4 or 5 seed in the regular season, and predominantly historically they're the 1-2 seed. So I think that speaks volumes for Eastern because it means that Eastern Connecticut is still a vibing job for D3 baseball. Like people across the nation still respect Eastern as a baseball program, and I think it's going to be a good fit for Coach Ham.
No, absolutely. That's the biggest thing for me. First of all, this is the lacrosse team who's twice, 2 years ago lost to Keene in the semifinal, and then last year going up there and losing.
We'll say one thing that coach has to do is you got to beat Keene State. They're 0-10 their last 10 games against them. They haven't won. They haven't beaten them since the 2013 LEC title game. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for that game, so it's been quite some time. That's definitely a check mark that's got to happen.
And I think with what happened last year, getting to the championship game and having to go up there, they're going to be hungry. I think they're absolutely.
It's tough. Yeah. It's tough to play Keene anywhere, but especially at their place.
And especially for how dominant the lacrosse program they've had for a long time, but more impressive the last 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, Thanks again for being on. Welcome
problem.
back.
Thank you.
Inside
Appreciate it.
Eastern Athletics. When we come back, our final segment, we're going to have our fan question, which we have no knowledge of. That'll be on Dom Conti. We'll be back up here once again. Brian Dossler, always a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We'll be back after this.